time. I started teaching it only in Italy in 2018 and then also internationally from 2022. So let's talk about how to seduce an older woman if you're younger. So first let's talk about quickly about my experience with this topic, because now currently I'm 27, but I started approaching when I was 18. So in 2014, 2015 or something like this. Now from my other screen the live is not starting, but I guess it's just a technical problem. Okay, now it's starting. Okay, perfect. So I started approaching in 2014, 2015. So the first problem, one of the first problems that I immediately faced, it was the fact that when I was approaching older women, they were always telling me, "You're too young. You're too young. You're too young. You could be my son," or this kind of situations. So I had to figure it out immediately how to solve this situation. And when I started solving this, because it's actually a limiting belief, but it's also a problem in terms of skills. So now we will talk about it in this video. And after I solved this problem, I started dating easily girls that they were always 3, 5, 7 years older than me, and in some cases also women that they were 10, 15, or also 20 years older than me. Okay, now now I'm not 18 anymore, so it's not happening so often that I'm dating girls that are older than me. Also sometimes it's happening anyway, but I think it stopped happening after I passed maybe 25. So before 25 years old, I was always dating like 80% of the times. I was always dating women that they were older than me in the 80% of cases. That also sometimes women that they were younger, but of course the older I get, the often then it becomes more often the situation where I date also women that they are younger than me. So let's talk about there are three categories of women in terms of dating younger guys, older guys, and these kind of things. There are women that they never dated a younger guy. So, and this is something you cannot change. So do not focus on this category of women. There are some girls that just for, I don't know, they have their own rules. You don't have to change it, and don't try to convert the unconvertible girls. Okay, just accept it. Just understand that it's maybe 5% of women. Okay, there are some women that will never date a younger man. Then fortunately there are also the other two categories of women that for example the second category is women that they never had experiences with younger guys, but if they see value in you, if you behave in the proper way, if you create interest in the girl, they will have no problems dating you. Okay, and very often you will hear on your dates, you will hear, "Oh, I never dated a younger guy. It's so unusual. I never dated a younger guy." Okay, but it doesn't matter. Okay, because she's already on a date with you. Okay, and then there is also the third category of women that they already had experiences also with younger guys, and so they have no problem in dating younger guys. Okay, and they also maybe they date also older guys, but they have no problem also in dating younger guys because they already did. Okay, so the focus has to be on the second and on the third category. Okay, do not focus on the first category. Okay, also because it's just 5%. Okay, just focus on the other 95%. Also one of the other things when you're facing a situation with an older woman is that very often she will ask you, "How old are you?" Okay, especially if you look very young on your face. And this is something I never saw anywhere in any video, in any program of anyone. It's just something I learned by myself to solve this problem in my beginning, which is to ask first, how old is she? Okay, so if you ask first, you can set the rules, you can set the frame, you can also say like something for fun. It doesn't have to be serious, but for example, if you're asking first the age, you can say something like, "Oh, you're too young," or "You're too old," even if it's like let's say she's 5 years older than you. You can also say, "Oh, you're too young. I usually date women that are 10 years older than me," okay, or something like this. It's just a joke, and it's just an example. Okay, and also you can ask her to identify in which category she is. You can also ask, how old is the youngest guy you've ever dated? Okay, I usually ask this. Now I'm not doing it anymore because I'm not facing this situation very often because I'm not 18 anymore. But what I was doing is that after I was asking the age, then immediately or right away, not immediately, but almost right away, I was asking also how old is the youngest guy you've ever dated. Okay, so I set the rules and I set the frame of the interaction with also a joke like, oh, you're too young. I only date women that are above 30. Okay, this is just an example. For those of you that are connected, you can type your questions if you have any questions, and then I will answer later. So let me drink 1 second. Another thing, one of the main principles you have to understand if you're young is that to be successful with older women is that you need to get out of the stereotype of the typical young guy. Okay, so for example, having more life experiences. Start traveling, for example. So if you're born in a certain country, don't stay your whole life in that country, and don't just travel inside of your country. It's very typical for American people. I don't know why. For us, especially USA, and if some of you is from US, you can confirm or I don't know. You can tell me if it's like this or not. But I know many people from US, and they only travel inside of their country. Okay, I understand that it's a very big country, but also do not travel in other regions. You can also explore your country, of course, but after you explore your country, also start traveling in other countries. So if you're from US, start traveling on maybe start from South America, which is not too far. Maybe don't go into dangerous places to risk your life, but you can travel to South America. You can travel to Canada. You can travel to Europe if you're from US. There are, I don't know how many countries are in Europe, but I think, I don't know, 50 or something like this. So there are many countries. You can go to Asia, also many other countries. In total in the world, there are something like 196 countries or something like this. So there is not only your country. You can start traveling also somewhere else. You can go to Africa, you can go to Australia. So go wherever you want, but start traveling, so you will get more life experience, more life experiences in general, and you will be much more interesting in the conversation with older women. But you don't have to do it because then you will be more interesting for older women. You have to do it first for yourself to live a more fulfilling life, and then you will also have the benefit that the conversation topics will start to pop out automatically in the conversation according to the life experiences that you did. Also, always talking about that you have to step out of the stereotype of the typical young guy is the don't talk about college or school or living with parents. Okay, this doesn't mean that you have to lie. Okay, just do not mention it. Okay, if you're living with your parents, don't say it. Okay, the girls usually they're never asking this. Okay, sometimes they may ask, but it's pretty rare, especially if you're showing confidence, if you're interested in the conversation. Okay, so you don't have to lie. You just have to not mention it. Okay, and if she's asking, maybe you can say that you live with roommates. At the end, your parents are also like roommates. Okay, so but you just don't have to mention it. If you're going to university, you can still say it, but also say the next step. Okay, because for example, if you're interacting with a girl that she's 30 years old, she's independent, she lives by herself, she has her own apartment since 5 years, 10 years, or something like that, and you're still going to university, you live with your parents, and you will mentioning the fact that you go to college or school, university, or wherever it is, it's not very interesting. You can still say it, but also say what's your next plan. I'm graduating in, I don't know, I'm studying law because I want to start working as a lawyer in New York. It's much more interesting than saying, oh, I just go to college. Okay, especially if you are in if you go if you're going to the college and you spend your whole time getting drunk and smoking weed with your friends, this is not usually very interesting for an older woman. Okay, gain also work experience. Okay, it's not illegal to start working while you're in school, while you're studying, but also there are many people that thought they are also maybe a little bit older, maybe they are 25, 26, 27, and they still have no work experience. Okay, so start gaining more work experience in different types of job, in different niches. You can also have different roles. So you can try to be an employee, you can try to be self-employed. So the more variety you will have in your life, the more conversation topics you will have in the conversation, the more interesting you will be when you're speaking with an older woman. But in general, you will be also interesting for younger women. Meet new people. Usually, meeting new girls will also give you more life experience. And meeting new people that are going out to approach with you, it will increase also your confidence. And all these things will reflect in the conversation in your confidence. and as a result, you will be more interesting for a younger, for older woman. She will not see you as the typical young guy. Okay, learn the dynamics of life and the relationships. Have clear ideas and plans in your life. The typical young guy is just in university, living with parents, and he has no clue about what to do next in his life. So don't be that. Okay, one of the things that allowed me when I was very young to date older women is the fact that I had clear ideas and clear plan of what I wanted to do in my life. Maybe not everything exactly cleared in every detail, but at least I was having goals and I was communicating my goals in my interactions. Of course, you don't have to say it immediately and casually just to brag about it, okay? Also because you don't have anything to brag about if it's just a goal. But when it's contextual in the conversation, you can say it, okay? And all this is reflected in the conversation, in your confidence. Also, as I told you before, to overcome this obstacle of the age, I was always asking the age. I was asking for age first, okay? So I can set the frame and I can set the rules of the conversation. So she cannot say, "Oh, you're too young," because this is the thing that you will want to avoid, okay? So I was saying first as a joke, "Oh, you're too young. I only date women that are much older," okay? So you can it's just an example and just a joke. And also, if you are okay with that, because the first thing is also that maybe you're not okay with yourself in dating women that are older than you, but the problems are just in your mind, in the man's mind. Okay, usually women, they have no problem. Yeah, as I told you, there's maybe a 5% of women that are unconvertible. You cannot just you can do anything, but for the other 95%, you can still date them even if they're older than you. If you're okay with that, she will be too. But however, you will get this with experience. The more you go out, the more you start dating older women, the more you start approaching older women, the more you will get this confidence. So if some of you has any question, do it now or do it in the next video. So if you want to learn everything from the opening line to the bedroom with new girls approached in the daytime, click the link in the description below and join my From the Approach to the Bedroom program, which also includes my lifetime support. If you have any questions, you can schedule a free call by always using the link in the description. Any questions? Otherwise, we will just watch each other, but it's not usually a very nice thing. If you want, I can just go on talking for hours and hours, but I have to choose a topic. Or maybe you can give me a topic with your questions. Or maybe I just have to understand better the time zone in the world, because in my time zone is pretty much 1 a.m. And in the US, I don't know. Let's see, what time is it in US? It's pretty much 1 a.m. Hey Siri, what time is it in New York?
It's 16:55 in New York City, New York.
Okay, so maybe you are working, so let's see. Maybe I have to understand better the time zone. So see you in the next video.